Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another mukbang. So, there are two things in my life, well recently, past couple of years, that I am almost like terrified of cooking. First one is spicy rice cakes. I know that I made a lot of it in my videos especially, and I do cook them off video, but for some reason they just never taste as good as store-bought ones or like pre-made ones, like prepared ones. The sauce too, I just feel like I don't know how to portion it, like the pepper paste and the sugar. I just feel like I never know the good ratio of it. And the rice cakes always crack. They just crack and break on me, and like the sauce kind of like the sauce and the rice cakes always kind of like are two separate things. Like when you eat like the really good ones, I guess they are like the sauce is like drenched over the rice cake, but for mine just always like two separate things, so they just never taste good. But I will make them eventually. Hopefully I find a good recipe to share with you guys. Second one is Alfredo pasta. Whenever I make it from scratch, the milk always curdles, always curdles. And I'm thinking it's because I always use like skim milk or whole milk, even whole milk. I don't remember half and half. I think I did use it before. Maybe half and half is okay, but I'm thinking that's why, because I even tried cooking it on really low heat, when you simmer, and I realized that when I add the cheese a little too early, they curdle. It could be because I'm using skim milk or 1% or whole milk. I don't know. It might be an obvious thing for some of you guys, but for me, I just always feel so guilty eating or consuming so much heavy milk, heavy cream, or half percent. Today's main protein is going to be scallop. Oh my gosh! Do you see this? I have never cooked with so much big ass scallops in my life. I don't think you guys will really learn any cookings from today's video, but I just want to share that I've been craving this all week. I'll start off with like a medium to medium high heat. I know it's a very stupid thing to be terrified of, like really you're scared of cooking, but trust me, when it never ever turns out right, like you almost like start hating to cook, like you hate cooking. So I'm going to use less than this. I don't know how much butter to use, to be honest. I'm going to lower it though. So I want to cook my scallops first. Oh, I'm not so scared of cooking. Smells like the ocean and butter. Oh my gosh, I remember eating like the freshest scallop when Tong and I visited Paris a couple of years ago. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. But I love their street markets, and really so like their seafood and meat is so fresh. I feel like that would be more like a farmer's market, like if I had to compare it to like the States. Like I always look forward to the weekends, ever since I started working like Monday to Friday, like 7 to 5 or 8 to 5 or whatever. Here, I'm gonna put some onions in. So I would always look forward to the weekends. I don't do anything, I rest, I just do whatever I want, watch TV, and just, relax with my fur baby. But ever since I started, so I only film on weekends, because, like I just don't want, because I feel like it's just too much. If I'm working all day and like at the film afterwards, it's just like, I don't know, I'm tired. So I look forward to the weekends because this is when I'm cooking and I am filming and I'm like communicating or like having a conversation with you guys or a conversation by myself. So I really do look forward to it. It's fun. I feel like throughout the whole week I'm just like not talking. Well, I talk to my husband and by myself and my dog, but I don't really, besides that, like I don't really talk to anybody. And I like that because I feel like on weekends when I'm filming or talking to you guys, I'm just like, I have so much to say. I'm gonna add heavy whipping cream. Wow, this is so thick. And I'm gonna eat all of it. I'm scared. So I don't want to cook that on too high heat. You know what? I ordered this induction cooktop, and I was really looking forward to using it today, but it's not here. Okay. Oh, it feels good already. So I'm going to add this right now. Okay, this is too high. I'm going to add, ooh, it looks thick. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think that's good. Thanks. Ah. Okay, this still looks pretty pale. I could totally add more. Oh my god, it tastes so good already. My goodness. Do I have to use the whole bottle? Jeez. So good. No, I think this is good enough, to be honest. As long as it's not like too like good. Okay, so I'm going to add my pasta. I don't have fettuccine, so I'm going to just use my spaghetti noodles. That. Okay. Lower. Yum. Very excited. Looks so good. Oh yeah, and you know me, like I told you guys, like I don't really talk to people during the week, which I really like I like that. I just like to kind of spend the whole busy week by myself. But I also don't cook a lot either, so I actually asked my mom for a huge favor this week, and she brought me a good chunk of delicious food for me to last like maybe 2 weeks, I think. Because I've been using a lot of Grubhub and DoorDash. Oh my gosh, it gets so expensive. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. Okay, oh, so good. Okay, so I have, can you see? 1 yolk. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper, black pepper, and some, okay, lower, Parmesan cheese. Kind of like making carbonara. To add my scallops. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then, what is this? Oh my god, this looks so delicious. So with this yolk, I'm going to whisk it just a little bit. And I'm going to add it in my pasta. Okay, but if you guys made carbonara before, the key is to make sure the egg yolk does not cook, so you have to work a little fast. Okay. Yummy! Oh my gosh, look at the size of the scallop. You know, I think heavy cream is the key. Like, my cream looks so nice and silky. It's not curdling. Doesn't look like two things. Oh, these scallops are so good. You know what? I love scallops, but I think today is a day that I'm like sick of it because there's so much. I did make extra so I could give some to my husband. Honestly, I don't even think I needed to add the carbonara version. If I had the regular one, I would have used that, but I didn't. It's still spicy, but it's like almost still too creamy. Oh gosh, I'm getting full. So, and I've been thinking about last year a lot. I know it's like a week, literally a week from last year, but one thing that I sort of changed about myself last year was not making decisions, making choices, decisions, whatnot, when I am either very happy or very sad or sad mad. Because I realized that if I make those decisions in those state, like when I'm not that happy or sad anymore, it just, oh, I always regret it. Like, why did I make that decision? Why did I say that? Or why did I choose to do that? Because I don't feel like that anymore. And I think there's just so much more to clean up after those choices that I made, and I become irresponsible because I would not feel like that anymore, you know? The scallop's very heavy. Wanna try one?
You should cut the scallop in half.
Why?
맛있네.
맛있어? Because it's your first one. Have like 3. Like, yeah, there's so much scallop. I'm like so sick of scallops. Scallops. Yeah, and like I talked to like Tom about it too before. Like, oh, like, you know, like I feel like when I make like, or for example, if I like plan anything, like a hangout when I'm like happy, because you know, like I used to do that a lot when like I'm hanging out with like, let's say, friend number 1, and we haven't seen them in a long time, and I'm like,
Did you ever talk to me? You never talk to me.
What?
You never talk to me
I
behind your ears.
didn't. Shut up. It's like, you know, like I haven't seen that person in a while, and like, you know, I'm very happy. We're happy, like we're having a lot of fun hanging out, and like you make more plans while you're hanging out because you're just so happy to see them hanging out. But then like literally like when I go home, I'm like, oh, why did I say that? Like, why did I like decide to plan another hangout when I clearly know like I probably don't want to anymore. So like I learned how to like hold my tongue or like my comments in that sense. I realized that when I do plan these things, you know, like I said, like I just become irresponsible. I always bail out because like I just don't want to do it anymore, and like I don't want to force myself to do something that, you know, like will not make me happy. So whenever I'm like, I think I'm more like conscious of it, or I like, yeah, I'm more conscious of it whenever I'm just with people. Like, oh, I want to tell them like, oh, we should do this next time, but I always catch myself not saying it, because if I really do want to make that happen, I think in a week I'll still feel the same way and I'll make it happen. But you know, it's probably better not saying it in that spot because I know I'm probably a little too excited or too happy that moment to make that kind of decision. And I think that goes for like the other side of the person, vice versa, because if that person let's say that person like always makes choices or decisions when they're very excited, I think it's better for you as well if you don't really hold up on that, because if you do, like, oh, but you last time you said that, remember? I think it's just more stress on yourself as well. I can't talk because you're here. 왜 빨리 해? 빨리도 안 하네 내가? But like, you know, with like my husband, I could say whatever I want because if I don't feel like it, I'm like, oh, I don't feel like it. And like, I think in the beginning, like, he hated it so much because like, oh, you always change your mind. But like now, like, I think this happened a lot, especially before like I started, like, I was like on a break from YouTube because he was like, hey, when are you gonna like start filming again? And I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna film like this week, and I don't, and he just doesn't even like expect me to like follow up with stuff that I told him I was gonna do. If I don't like follow through, then I actually don't feel good about myself either. Like, oh, I can't even make one promise, like, or like one thing that I said I was gonna do. I think he's actually completely opposite because he never tells me what he's gonna do. He's always just like, he does whatever he wants to do, but he doesn't really like vocally communicate with me. We don't communicate.
I do whatever I want.
I do too.
I know you do. You do more.
I think you're good at like saying, like, I think you only say when you know you'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but me, I don't.
I told you I'll be a trillionaire.
Oh, you're not a trillionaire.
I know, just a billionaire.
What? Do you have like billion debts? And like, I think that it's like a little bit more of like a superficial like level or superficial like, you know, like level of topic. But if you want to go a little heavier, I think, you know, like holding your tongue when you're angry at somebody, when you're, especially like, I know there are moments in life where you have to really stand up for yourself and like be more vocal and say what you gotta say. I'm not talking about those moments, but I'm talking about like your husband or your family. Like there were a lot of moments in 2020 for me where I was just really angry at my family, angry at Tong, angry at friends, I think. And you just have to really hold your tongue because I think relationships, once you break it, you can't really fix it because you don't forget. I'm gonna start calling my videos a talk show or something. Talk bang. Gossip bang. I don't know. But you guys know what you guys are in for. You guys know what you guys are in for. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I talk more than I eat. It's just something I was thinking, and I think that's something that one of the changes that I made, which I was very glad that I did, because I know it might not be a big deal to some people, but for me it's just like, oh my god, I don't want to like go to this hangout, like, but I said I'll do it, I planned it, and like I hate those feelings. Like I want to be responsible with my decisions, but I can't because sometimes I just don't want to do things that stresses me out. And I know that comes off very like childish because as a grown-ass woman, I should really take care or be responsible to the words I say or like decisions I make. And I think this was one of the phase. Is that a phase? Yeah, it was one of those phases where I realized I think there's, you know, obviously everyone's an individual, everyone has a different way to learn things, and for me, I think this was a way for me to be more responsible with the decisions I make or words. And I'm talking about this hangouts and all these like things as an example, but like as a whole, like just learning how to be responsible to your words, the comments you make. I feel like I barely ate, but this was very, very filling and I just can't eat anymore. You know, a good thing I have a husband who likes to eat. You know what's crazy? Cause like like eating. Oh, like you're making money off of eating off on camera. Like how easy is that? Like I think there are easy aspect of it, but for you to eat a lot, like you're not born eating a lot. Like I remember like when I was at like that peak on my YouTube channel, like where I was like eating a lot. I think I kind of like molded myself to that, or like kind of trained myself to that. Like like every time I like plan something or like cook something, like my portion just got bigger and bigger because like a lot of you guys wanted to see me eat a lot of food. I think that's why like my just like recipes and everything just got bigger, but and that's why like I was able to eat a little bit more. But like almost a year of not filming a mukbang, which means I don't eat like huge portions. Definitely I think did change my stomach size. But it is what it is. I can't eat a lot, and I'm sorry. The onions are really good. I do love eating for a long time. So delicious, so fun. Why do you want it to be over in like 5 minutes? Enjoy your bite. And I do realize that I do realize that it might not be something that people want to see, like me like nibbling on food, but it's very enjoyable for me. I get to talk to you guys. Oh, I'm so full. I don't know why. You know what, if you guys really like creamy pasta, I think this is the way to go, but man, it's just heavy cream is too heavy for me. Should I try half and half next time? I don't remember. I should really write stuff down when I'm cooking. I should have a cooking diary or something. So maybe hot sauce will help. I've heavy topic again, but I honestly don't. How do I say this? I think I'm still trying to figure out my beliefs. Like, what do I really believe in? Like, now I'm not just talking about religion. Okay, I'm not just talking about that, but like, what kind of lifestyle do I believe in? And one of the there you go. Yeah, it's like a very broad belief. Okay, I'm not just talking about religion. I'm not talking about God and all that. I'm like, just what kind of person do I believe in? And I think last year, man, 2020 was a heavy year, huh? One of the things that I want to be is I want to be a person that that doesn't affect other people negatively. Like, I want to be a being that that like literally a being, like, without like I'm like trying to be an existence where I am not affecting your life, his life, whoever's life in a bad way. That's just a start for me, and I I think I felt that way because that's what I expect from other people. You can't completely avoid it. Like, I understand the world we're living in, as long as you have a relationship with anybody, like, it's really hard to be completely away from that. I understand, but I think that's something that it's good to live with. Like, you leave me alone, I leave you alone, basically. But it's hard, because just you have family, you have friends, you have husband and it's hard. But I mean, as you can see, stuff that happening in the world, like, I know this might sound so cheesy, but man, there's so much hatred in this world and I hate it. Maybe you don't have to love everybody, maybe you don't have to love each other, but like, at least respect an individual, respect their choices, respect their way of living, like, without like the violence, without the hatred, but like, respect their choices, respect what kind of person they are, as long as like they don't affect people negatively, I guess. It seems like that's like impossible to find these days, you know, like people always have to point fingers and like telling them that, no, you're doing this wrong, that's not how you should be, or like, you know, and like that just makes some people into, it molds some people into something that they're not, and it's kind of sad to watch, you know. Yeah, I mean, I could talk about this all day. You know, like high school was all about like boys and like boyfriends. College was about like partying, and like I don't know what happened between college and 30, but I think like my hot topic, my fun topic is about finding your identity. And I think that's something that you always are told in like high school. Like I remember going to like retreats, like a church retreat, and like they would have so many seminars about like your identity and all that. But you know what, you're so young. I think that sometimes like, what identity, like, it's so, when you're that young, I think it's hard. I mean, some people can, and that's pretty amazing, but me, like, what my identity, like my identity is my friends, you know. I hope you guys enjoyed today's super talkative mukbang cookbang. You know what, as much as I was, you know, more than I was looking forward to eat this meal or cook this, I was just really excited to talk. This is me 5 days of not talking to anybody. Yeah, I should really end this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye, have a good day.